So hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing well. So this video would be regarding 125 plus most asked Python interview question with answers. So we would be covering 125 plus most asked Python interview question with answers. Definitely. Uh, According to this video, it would be more related to most asked interview question of Python. So this was a huge demand of the audience that are asking for Python interview questions which are most asked in any interview process. You are preparing for any interview related to Python developer or Python jobs, then this would add a great benefit. It would be a source of revision that you could be learn from this video. It would be grateful if you give me a thumbs up at the comment, and if you want this complete PDF, you can comment down that you need a complete PDF. I would be sharing this PDF completely free to download for you. I would be sharing a link of the Google Drive that would be accessible for everyone, those who are preparing for a Python interview process. So if you want to learn something new from this video, stay tuned to the channel and give me a thumbs up and share. After that, basically comment that you need a Python PDF, so that I would be sharing a complete link of the PDF in the description box as well as in the comment box. So moving on, let's begin. So 125 plus most asked Python interview question with answers we would be covering in this video. So stay till the end, don't leave in the middle, because these are the most asked important questions of Python we would be discussing. So Python interview question for freshers, basically I have divided this into many parts. So 125 questions have been divided in multiple sub parts. So if you need a PDF, you can comment, and wherever you need, you think that this question is very important, or you feel this is the really important that it has been repeated in many interviews, so you can take a screenshot of that as well. No worries. And starting to the first question, Python interview question for freshers. So this video would be helpful for anyone who is preparing, who is a fresher, or who is studying for a college viva as well. So let's begin. The first question is, what is Python? If any interviewer asks what is Python, then you should be much knowledgeable to tell him and explain him what is Python and what are the use cases and why Python is used in day-to-day life. You can tell what is Python, basically the short and script answer that you should suggest, or you should explain the interviewer that what is Python, then this is the expected answer that you should give. So basically, what is Python? Python is a general purpose computer programming language based on object oriented programming. uh, the program in Python can run equally on every operating system. It is primary language used in modern technologies like AI, data science, and ML. This is the expected answer that you should give to an interviewer if he is asking. Then if you give such good, crisp, and correct answers, then your profile will definitely get shortlisted for further interview process. So we have done with the first question. Whatever questions that we are going to cover, after covering a question, I would be giving a tick mark to that, and if it's an important, it would be highlighted. So make sure you take a screenshot as well while watching this complete video. So the second type of question is, Python was developed in which year? You should know 1991 is the year where Python was developed. This is an easy question. Then moving on to the third question, what are primary uses of Python? If an interviewer asks you what are the main primary uses of Python, many candidates get stuck in the middle because they really don't know what are the primary uses of Python. Then you should know. Here is the list of some areas where Python programming languages are used. So these are the various fields, that different types of fields or domains, you can say, where Python is mostly used. Data analysis, software testing, web development, software and application development, game development, automation, scripting, machine learning, artificial intelligence. Then many points have been mentioned below. You can read all this and you can explain in your own words with proper example. uh, there is nothing much to read or learn from this answer. Directly you can understand the main concepts from the question that has been asked, so you can rethink and explain in your own words. That would be a great advantage for you as well. Moving on to the fourth question, who uses Python? Mostly big names of the companies that you can explain them with the help of detailed explanation. No need much explanation here. So fifth question would be, what are benefits of using Python? So I would be tick marking fourth one as well as a third one as done. Okay. So the fifth, what are the benefits of using Python? You can explain the benefits and advantage of using Python language. Easy to read, write, interpret, efficiency, etc. You can cover all these points with help of a good description. Then this is object oriented. It is an open source library, rich frameworks and testing instruments. You can cover all these points. Then moving on to the sixth, how to write a program in Python. Then you can explain how you can write a simple program in Python using an interpreter that should be installed in your system. You can explain these kind of steps. These are the steps that have been mentioned. Create a new project, select a location or storage, name the file, type a simple program and run the program. Seventh, where to run Python code. These questions are basically for freshers. We would be covering uh, intermediate and advanced level question as well in the further PDF of the page. So these are the basic freshers level questions. Where to run Python code, you can see what is the function in Python with examples. You can see and read below how many functions are there in Python. So this is an important question. Wherever the question is important, I would be telling you and discussing that question as well. So make sure you take a screenshot as well. So I would be telling that this question is really important. You should mark it or you should take a screenshot of this as well. So how many functions are there in Python? There are basically three types of functions in Python. First is built-in, second one is user defined, and the third one is anonymous function. So basically built-in functions, these functions come defined with Python language. Here are some of the built-in functions in Python: print function and all the kind of functions that you can see: max, sorted, sum, length, etc. And user defined function. In the user defined function, basically user defined function are defined by the user to perform a task in a program. So you can check, these are defined with the def keyword at the start. These functions are written like this: def add numbers, def entry, then anonymous function. These are functions that are defined without a name. Yeah, so they are called anonymous. Where is function defined? A function in Python is called with the help of def keyword. A function block starts with this keyword and then function name parenthesis take place. Arguments are placed between this and parenthesis can also be defined inside of this. So where is a Python function defined? So you can explain them. This answer, this is the right answer. The 11th question is Python code compiled or interpreted? You can read this. What is dynamic type language? You can read this as well. What are Python literals? You can explain the answer provided below. The 14th is, what is interpreted language? You can check. The important one would be this: what is Python virtual env? So the isolated environment for development and debugging Python is written in virtual env. It runs multiple applications with help of pip. Pip is basically used to install all the libraries in Python. So it is basically used to all the libraries such as NumPy, Pandas, Seaborn, and many more. So these are the type of libraries that are used to install. You can directly write pip install Seaborn, pip install Pandas, pip install etc. So these keyword is basically used for installing various kinds of libraries with the help of pip. So you can read this. And what do you think of the future of Python? This is the general question that they are asking. So you can explain in your own words as well. No need to learn or by heart. So moving on to the 17th question, that we are going to know how to reverse a list in Python. Basically how you would be reversing a list in Python. So this is the technical question that I was talking about. This is most important question that you should know. Take a screenshot of this or make a note of this. How do you reverse a list in Python? Basically you should answer, the function that is basically used to reverse a list in Python is list.reverse. It should be reverse, not reserve. Just a moment. It should be list.reverse, you should know. And moving to the 18th question is, what is the role of map function in Python? So the map function basically processes and transforms the literable like tuples and list without using for loop. This is the good and better answer for a question that you have to provide in an interview. And the 19th question, if asked, is what is a try block in Python? Then you can explain what is try block. Basically, it is a block that is preceded with the help of the try keyword. 20 question would be, what is the shortest method to open a text file and display content? So using with command is the shortest way to open a text file and display the content in it. Then 21 would be, can you write a Python program to add two integers that are greater than 0 without using plus operator? So you can directly tell yes or no first and then clarify your answer with help of justification and giving a proper example for the question asked by an interviewer. So you can directly tell yes, I can do it with help of bitwise operator. Explain him what is bitwise operator and how you would be doing that to add two integers that are greater than 0 without using a plus operator. So explain him in brief and detail of using bitwise operator. Then 22 question would be, this is one of the technical question, what will be the output of this program? So they have mentioned an array list, so you can check the index of the array. They have given address of 2. So the answer of this question would be, the indexing starts from 0, has the indexing starts from 0 and the element at the second index is 4. The output will be the 4. So they have asked, they have given a simple array. You can see 1 3 4 5 8 9 10 11 56 are the elements stored in an array. They have given a location of the address of 2, means at second index what is the element they are asking. So as we know, in any array the first element would have a index 0, then the second element would be having an index 1, then the third element would be having an index 2, and fifth element would be, so sorry, 0 1 5, so fifth element would be having an index 3. So basically in an array the first element would be always starting from 0th index. So they are asking what would be the element at index 2. So basically at index 2, 0 1 2, so basically at second index the element is 4, so the answer would be 4. So 23 question is, what is the Python dictionary? A dictionary in Python is a collection of items that are written in curly brackets, basically with keys and values. These items are in no particular order and are used to retrieve the values of keys that are known. This is the simple answer of the question asked. Take a screenshot of this. This is an important one. Then moving on to the next question. Differentiate between new and override modifiers in Python. You can explain them. The answer given below. You can read. What is the pass in Python? You can explain what is pass in Python. Basically it's a statement, you can explain that. So as mentioned below, pass is a statement in Python that is used as a placeholder for upcoming codes at execution. It does not shows any error, but it is not allowed in loops, class definitions and statements or function definition. Basically it's a null statement, and when it is executed it will result in no operation. Moving on to 26 question, what is recursion in Python? When function call themselves in Python, basically what is recursion? You should know recursion in C++, etc. But they have asked what is recursion in Python. This is the most asked question. So recursion is nothing that repeats itself in a loop. So basically when the function call themselves in a program, the process is known as recursion. It has two parts basically. The first one would be the base case and the second one would be the recursive case. You can explain the both the cases. The base case is basically used to stop the recursion and the recursive base is where the function calls itself. 27 question is, what are basic applications of Python? You can explain in your own words that what are the main basic application of Python. Include some of the web frameworks application, image processing, GUI, graphical user interface, base desktop application, prototyping, game development, data processing. You can explain all the kind of points given below with help of proper explanation and diagram. You can explain and connect with real world examples as well. So what are the basic application of Python? You can explain in your own words as well. No need to learn or by heart this kind of points. Moving on to 28 question, tell me the names of some Python built-in modules. So you can explain some of the modules that are mentioned over here. So names of Python built-in module: OS module, random module, sys module, JSON, math module, collective module. How does closure occur in Python? You can explain this. Most importantly, I wanted to discuss one thing in just a moment. We have covered 25 questions till now. Uh, mm, so I want to explain again. Pip is a keyword which is pip is a keyword used in Python where we can install the libraries with the help of pip keyword. Using pip, we can install all the libraries like pip, install pandas pip, install matplotlib pip, install cbon. So after writing these commands, then all the libraries would be directly installed in your program. Moving on to 29th question, how does closure occur in Python? When nested function defines a value in an enclosing scope, the closure occurs in the program. It remembers the value. Moving on to the 30th question, tell me something about SciPy. You can read this. What is enumerate function in Python? So the level of the question is increasing. You can check. So this is the technical question. This is important. What is the enumerate function in Python? Enumerate is a function that is used to iterate through a sequence. It keeps track of both element and the index. It takes the collection and return it as an enumerated object. So you have to understand the concept behind this, then you can answer the question very well. Apart from this, 32 question, how does Python do compile time and runtime code checking? So you can answer by answer given below. Python does not perform compile time code checking except when the code is synthetically invalid. If the code is following the syntax rules, it will compile without even checking it. Python runtime code checking is done dynamically. All parts of program are checked at runtime. So moving on to 33 question, what are the common built-in data types in Python? Basically, these are the following data types that have been used as a data type built in Python. Basically, first one would be binary type, second is boolean type, third is set type, fourth one is mapping type, fifth is sequence type, sixth is numeric type, and seventh is text type. Moving on to the next question, what is basic difference between .py and .pyc files? So what do you think? What is the basic difference between .py and .pyc files? So you can answer basically .py files have the source code of the program, while .pyc files have a bytecode of a Python program. Python compiles the .py files and saves them as .pyc files. Easy to understand. Makes sense. 35 question would be, what are the comments in Python? What are different types of comments? So you can tell, basically this is the most easiest question that ever asked in an interview. If interviewer asks you, you are lucky. So what are the comments in Python? What are different types of comments? Basically you can explain with good words that comments are text with the information in Python. These are used when two or more programmers are working on a project. The use of Python comments is to analyze, debug, and provide feedback. So comments are basically of two types: single line comment and multi-line comment. Basically comments are used for understanding a proper explanation of the code for a programmer, not for a compiler but for a programmer, to understand where the program has started, where it has ended, what type of functions you have used, what type of program you are writing. So for understanding of the code, for ease of understanding, ease of reading, ease of simpleness, you can comment. So these are the use of comment. And what are comments? I think you got a good idea about the comments. Moving on to the next question. So what are global and private and protected attributes in Python? So basically the next question is, what are global, private, and protected attributes in Python? You can answer, global variables are defined in global scope. Global keyword is used for using it in global scope in a function. Second one is, private attribute have double underscores as prefix to their identifiers. They cannot be accessed from outside directly, which results in attribute error. And the third one is, protected attribute have an underscore as a prefix to their prefix. It can also be accessed from outside the class. 37 question, how to remove duplicate elements from a list in Python. So what do you think? How to do you remove a duplicate element from a list in Python? Duplicate elements can be removed from the list by turning them into the set. The set list function is used for it. What is Python tkinter? You can read this. This is not important. Has what is pyramid in Python? You can read. These are some of the questions. If asked in an interview, you should be able to understand. So I have given this. So is tuple comprehension possible in Python? You can read this. You can learn. You can understand these questions. What is work of hashtag in Python? It is basically used to comment. What is minimum and maximum length of an identifier in Python? Then what are the modules and packages in Python? These are basic questions. What is scope in Python? Yeah. So this was the last question. What is scope in Python for freshers? In Python, the location where we can find a variable and can access it when it is required is called scope. These are two type of scopes everyone should know. Actually, if you have learned C programming, then the scope thing that you should be covering there as well. The scope, basically there are two type of scopes, global and local. Global variables are the one that can be used by any part of the program and can be declared outside any function. Local would be inside. So moving on to the next sub part of the questions that we are going to cover is Python interview question for experienced professionals. So for a Python interview role or developer role, if you want to learn some of the experience questions asked for experienced professionals, then you can continue watching this. So which is the best Python code to Java code converter? So the answer is given below. Java, sorry, it should be Python. Python is mostly used for using Python codes as on Java platform. It is an open source implementation of Python code integrated with Java. The code is compiled to Java bytecode and runs on any Java virtual machine. It gives access to all Java libraries. Moving on to the second one, what are some Python code best practices? What do you think? What should be the answer? Is the answer correct? Yeah, absolutely. Here are some of the best Python code practices that a developer should follow. You can read all these steps and explain an interview with proper examples and drawing a good flowchart. So we have done with second as well. Moving on to the third. In Python 3 and later, what is the use of non-local statement? So the answer for this question is it is used to assign values to a variable in an outer scope. It causes listed identifiers to refer to previous variable in the nearest enclosing scope. Moving on to the fourth one. If you installed a module with the pip keyword but it doesn't import your ideally, what are possible reasons? Think of this. There can only be two possible issues in this process. The first one would be if the system has Python 2. Since NumPy is installed for Python 3.6 and latest versions, this will show an error. And the second, check if error is an issue with configuration of Anaconda with ideally. If the system is used default Python in place of Anaconda, NumPy cannot be installed. This is the answer for the question asked. What is os.walk function? So the os.walk is a function that generates the file name in the dictionary tree. It is done by walking the tree either bottom up or top down. It yields a 3 tuple for each dictionary directory, which are dir path, dir names, and file names. How is static method different from class method? So basically both the methods are used to define a class method that is installed without instantiating the object in a class. The signature in both methods is different. Moving on to the seventh, what is use of Python startup environment variable in Python program? You can read this. What is use of Python case OK environment variable in Python programming? These questions are basically for experienced one. So what is pep 8 and tell me about its importance. You can tell what is pep 8. Pep 8 is basically a document that guides user with best practices on Python program. You can explain them. Then moving on to next question, what are decorators in Python? This is important one. In this is most asked question, what are decorators in Python? Decorators are nothing but decorators in Python are used to add functionality to a class or a function. It can change the behavior of class without permanent modification on it in it. So I think you have understood the answer. So moving on to the next, what is blockpile effect? What would you do in prevent this effect? You can read this. Then what is multi-threading in Python? So when several programs are running concurrently, you should know multi-threading in operating system. Basically, if you have learned operating system where OS does multi-threading happens in threads, and operating system performs multi-threading. So they have asked what is multi-threading in Python. When several programs are running concurrently by invoking multiple threads, the process is called multi-threading. Multi-threading is a concept used in operating system as well. The thread class in Python is predefined class. It is defined in threading module. So what are threads? Threads are basically single type threads, multi-type threads. If you have learned operating system, you must have knowledge related to that. But thread is a lightweight process. Several thread refers to a data space with main thread and share information easily by communicating with each other. Threads can be used for calculating results while the main part of the program is running. Moving on to the next question, what is Python parameter passing mechanism? You can read here what are the different Python parameters passing mechanism. Parameter passing can be done by using two methods. You should know. First one would be pass by reference, and the second one is pass by value. So the fourth question is, how good is Python for data analysis? This is a general question, not a one technical question, but you can answer it based on your understanding and your knowledge. So basically, how good is Python for data analyst? You can describe it in your own words. Python is very good for data analysis, like processing, like data mining, data processing, data visualization are done easily with the help of Python. You can explain some real case and scenarios of data analysis using Python as well. So moving on to the next, tell me about the use of frozen set in Python. You can read this. Frozen set is a collection of unique values for use in Python. You should know. Then what are the difference between Python 2 and Python 3? You should know Python 2 is faster than Python 3. The print keyword is considered a statement in 2 and a function in 3. Strings are stored in ASCII as default in version 2 while Unicode is version 3 as default. You can read. I have provided a good answer for this question. What are the difference between Python 2 and Python 3? These are all the differences. Main points covered to showcase a highlight that what are the main and major differences between Python 2 and Python 3. Moving to the next question, what is execution time for else part of a try except block? So you can answer, this is just a one line of answer. The else part of the try except block will execute when there is no exception in the program. Simple answer. 18th one is it possible to call the parent class without its instance creation? So the answer is yes, it is possible by creating an object of the child class, calling the function of the parent class in Python program with the help of the dot operator. This is an important thing. You should mention this sentence in your answer. Dot with the help of dot operator, you can call the parent class without it instance creation. What are Python namespaces? Why are they used? A namespace in Python is a statement that has a unique name for every object. It is used to implement scope and it is created when a function, package or module is evaluated. Basically, it is used to organize code into local groups when there are multiple libraries. The next question they have asked is, how will you combine data frames in pandas? These are the most asked questions for experience level. So the data frames in pandas can be combined with three methods. You can read this. How is oops used in Python? This is general question. How is oops? Oops is object oriented programming. concept which is used in Python, Java, etc. for object orientation. So coding is done with the help of real world elements like classes, data, abstraction, polymorphism, inheritance, and encapsulation. So these are the four pillars of OOPS: abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance. So the correct steps would be: first one would be abstraction, second one would be encapsulation, third one would be inheritance, and the last one would be polymorphism. What is encapsulation in Python? We have discussed in this previous video as well, where I have covered top 50 most asked interview question of OOPS concept, as well in the second video which I have covered recently previously, that top 25 questions of OOPS concept, where we have discussed everything in detail like encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, etc. You can check that video as well if you are really interested to watch that video. Make it as a source of revision for you, and these are the most important questions that I have brought and covered in that video as well, so you can check that video as well. But I have provided the answer in short way here as well. What is encapsulation in Python? You can explain the answer that is provided below. So what is inheritance in Python? That is also mentioned below. Tell about types of inheritance. There are basically four types: single level, multi-level, multiple, and hierarchical. So you can explain all these with the help of proper flowcharts or a diagram like this. This is multiple, and this is single inheritance where base class and superclass is inherited from one to another. This one is multiple, multi levels, can check. And another one would is a tree inheritance as well. This is not in your syllabus, but it is also used. What are advantages of using inheritance in Python? So you can explain basic advantages based on your knowledge, that what are basic advantages of using inheritance in Python. Covering these points, it provides the reusability of the code. It is used for showing real-time relationships. It allows additional features to a class in code without any modification. It is a transitive in nature. What is data abstraction in Python? You can read this. The answer is perfect for the interview to give. You can learn or read or revise and understand the basic concept behind this. What is polymorphism? This one is the last and the beautiful question. This is also most asked in interview. It means to have a multiple forms of an object in Python program. A code can be used to determine and differentiate the program. So for now, I would be sharing some of the Python programs for interview preparation. So make a note of this or take a screenshot of this now. So Python programs for interview preparation. These are some of the regularly asking codes for an interview, where you would be given a pen or a paper, or if you having a laptop, then they would be asking you to code for this in Python. So the basic questions that they're asking, which are mostly repeating and most asked, I've been researched and given over here. Python code for printing hello world. This is basic level questions. Python code to add two or more numbers using variables. You can take two numbers and assign values or a user input as well. Then moving on to the third, Python code to find factorial, Python code to reverse a string, Python code for snake game. This is good question. Python code for building a calculator. You can use all the different type of operators for building a calculator, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Everything can be done using this. Then Python code for cracking a Wi-Fi password. Python code to check prime number, if whether a number is prime or not. You can check. Python code for Fibonacci series. Python code for sending WhatsApp messages. So this is the questions that interviewer is asking mostly for any basic level of Python interview. So we have done the questions till now. I would be covering the second part as well uh, in the next video. Stay tuned to the channel and all the best. If you are facing any queries or difficulties, comment below. I would be answering all your queries or difficulties. If you want this complete PDF, comment below. Then I would be definitely sharing this complete PDF. I would be sharing a Google Drive link where you can directly access it. With the help of that link, you would be redirected to new page and directly download this complete PDF. If you want this complete PDF, write down in the comment box that you really need this PDF, and stay tuned for more opportunities. In the next video I would be bringing the second part of this as well, covering still more questions of the Python, but these are some of the basic and regularly asked questions I have covered in short time. I will be bringing the next video as well. Stay tuned to the channel, and all the best for your future, and good luck.